Good morning. Very happy to be with you. So, it isn't very easy to say a success story, and I don't like the word success story. Doesn't mean anything, in fact, only for the media. I've been very lucky in my life because I've built several companies. Two of them were quite famous worldwide. And what I would love to talk with you is about all the main challenges, the main issues that we have when we build a company from scratch. The first thing, it's not easy. It's very tough. And very fortunately, we forget what we have done at the last company, otherwise we will not start again to do a new company. So, about Happn, and I will illustrate the challenges with Happn, of course. So the first thing is, when you build a company, very often you are into a very competitive landscape, okay? And your identity, the way you will explain your identity to the users, this is something which is very important. You are into a market where there is probably a painful need. You must answer to this need with your product, and you must be able to express with a very little words, very simple words, who you are. That's why when we created Happn, we had a baseline, find the people you have crossed paths with. It is very clear. Happn is allowing you to meet the people that are right now around you. And when I was with my small team at the beginning, and I told them, if we are not able to express who we are, comparing with the competition, we do not launch the application. The brand is also something very important, because what you have to do is, of course, you want to have a lot of users, but at the end of the day, the acquisition of the users is always very expensive, but you have to make your app in the top of mind of the people, so when they are talking about dating, you are one of the apps they will think about. In the world today, we are probably the number in the Western world, except China, we are the number 2 dating app, and that's very important because when people want to date, they have to think Happn. Okay, so Happn, what is Happn? Happn, it's when we decided to create Happn, we wanted to bring back the real world into the dating space. If I had to summarize what users told me before we launched the app, the dating sector was very deceptive, very time-consuming, forms to be filling, to say who we are, and very deceptive. So we wanted to bring back the real world in this sector. The question is, why should we go online to meet people when we cross paths every day with so many people that are opportunities to meet? And we wanted to answer to that. When you go on Happn, in fact, you have started already your experience in your real life, because the people you see are the one you just have crossed paths with in the street. They live in the same area, they work in the same area, and we believe that there is something uncommon because of that. So, to put the real world into the dating space, we have a unique combination on the market. That combination is the hyperlocation and the real time. Of course, we are a mobile app, and you know mobility is a new paradigm everywhere, every time. Okay? And with that paradigm, we need to be simple, we need to be efficient, we need to be immediate, and if possible, gamified. So when you build an app today, that are really the pillars of what you will have to build. The communication of your brand is also something that is very important. when we started in 2014, hyperlocation, geolocation was quite scary for most of the users. So we didn't talk about that. We were more talking about real life. In 2017, people are more, accept more the location. So we started to talk about the location, but as you can see on the slide, in a funny way. And today, we want to be inspirational, not only functional, like find the people you have crossed paths with, but we want to talk about love. And we have chosen to talk about never give up on love. So I go quite fast because there are so many subjects that I want to talk with you about when you build a company. That part was about identity, brand, communication, that are very important subjects when you build a company. Today, as I told you, we are talking about love. And that's very interesting. We are not talking about love like in the 20th or in the 19th century. We are talking about modern love. And if I had to summarize what is modern love, I would probably say that today we know that love can start with a night of sex, which is very different than years ago. So we believe that love isn't, romance is not finished. And that's, if you compare with two of my competitors, that's very interesting. My competitor, Tinder. You know what they are talking about? Single. They say single, not sorry. Okay? They want to assume the fact that we are here to play or we are here just to meet people like that. Okay, so we don't want that. And about Bumble, they have chosen a marketing angle, which is the one of the woman empowerment, that we will not choose. Not because we don't want to empower women, but we are talking about love. And we think that love is a question of equality. I know a lot of women that are very independent and that prefer that the man is doing the first move. So there is those rules, we will not have them. So let me show you just a small video for you to have an image of all what I told you right now. Sorry, that was in a slide. It's about the privacy and the security. Privacy and security are very important in the dating space. That's why, for example, we do not monetize the data that we have from our users. Not at all. It's equal to zero. And we consider that the law about privacy and security, the GDPR, it's a very important law. And that's something, for example, very soon, the messaging in Happn will be encrypted. Because even us, we don't want to know what is happening. We don't know what is happening. It's impossible for us to know it. But privacy and security and data, this is also a fundamental choice in the way we build Happn. Let's talk a little bit about the product. The product, when you build a company, it's probably the most essential challenge that you will have. First, as I told you in the beginning, one of the pillars of the mobility is the simplicity. So the experience of your user must be as simple as possible. When you open Happn for the first time, in 2 clicks, you are able to start your dating experience. And that's something which is very important. Make the experience simple. You have profiles. You can go into a profile. If the attraction is mutual, you have a crush, and then you can start to dialogue with the person. That's the product. Very simple, very fast. The product Happn born in 2014. We have 5 years. We are 5 years old today, and as you can see, the product evolved a lot. When you see the day 0, day 1, you know, day 1 was the first stabilized version, where you had a mosaic of profiles. People were able to scroll down to see all the profiles and to choose with who they want to start a relation, they want to connect. And you see that he has evolved a lot till today. The last version is the one on 2019, which is not still available on the German market, but soon will be, probably next month. We have rolled it out half of the world. But the product must evolve. It's very important because, in fact, when everything that you will do will have an impact on your business. For example, if you see the day one with the mosaic of profiles, so our users, they loved that version, but we couldn't continue with that version for a simple reason, is that the people were passive because they have so many choices and they were able to stock all the profiles with us to act on the profiles. So it was something that we had to change. We changed to make a profile bigger, thinking that because the profile is bigger, you see better who is the person and you will be more engaged to refuse or like the profile. But still, this one was not sufficient to get the right activity on the app. And today, the last version is a version where you see a full profile on every page, but you are obliged to act on every profile, say yes or no, to go to the next one. And as you can see, the product must evolve, but all what you see has a reason. And I will focus on some point in the next slides. When you do innovations, which is necessary because of the competition, because your users, they need to get also new functionalities, all the innovations that you will do will have to serve a goal, which is a goal of activity, a goal of retention, a goal of monetization. Doesn't matter. But every time we have a new idea, we try to know what is the KPI we want to improve. We ask the data to give us some data, and for us to know what we are doing and what we have to improve and what we want to build. That's, for example, a good example of what I told you. Now we have suggested profile on the timeline, which means that on your timeline, in between the people that you have crossed paths with, you can see suggested profile. People that are from your city, but you haven't crossed paths with. So for what reason we did that? Because our product had a strong default, just how it is built, just because of our identity. Because when you come on Happn, if you want to see profile on your timeline, you need to have people around you that have Happn. So if you download the app on somewhere where there are not many Happn users, your timeline will be empty. So we had to solve that issue, and that's the reason why we have done the suggested profiles. And also, suggested profile is an excellent way for us to push the new users that we always put on the suggested profile, so they will be more seen by the other ones, they will get likes, and they will get a good experience. So behind every innovation, there is a business goal, and that's very important to know it when you build a company. And as you can see with the metrics, we had excellent results on that move. Same with the map. Now you have two ways to surf on Happn: the timeline that I have already described and the map. In the map, you can select a place, and you will see on that place what are the people that you have crossed paths with. So that has also got excellent result and metrics. And also it enhances our identity, which is about the crossings. Of course, that's for the product. Of course, the scalability of the platform that you are building is something which is very, very important. You know, now we are completely cloud-based. Being totally cloud-based means that we can grow very easily, okay? And we have done an architecture of the product with microservices. If we want to improve a service, we can just take the service that is wrong and we replace it with a new one. So anticipation is probably a key meaning of everything you will do when you build a company and when you build an app. So the scalability, to move from our own servers to the cloud, it has taken 2 years. So if we hadn't anticipated that when we created the product, we could not probably grow as we have did, because we had operational problems. So anticipation and the way you build the things are very, very important. Let's talk a little bit about the markets. As you can see, we born in February 2014. In May, we opened London. In July, we opened Berlin. We have stopped. And in September, we opened New York. From day one, the world was our world. And that's something also which is very important. Today, we have 75 million users, registered users at Happn. The global footprint of Happn, so we are very strong in all European countries. When I say we very strong, means we are always in the top 3 in every country, in all European countries. In Brazil, we are number 2. When I travel to Brazil and I meet the people, it's very, we are very proud because everyone in Brazil knows Happn. In India, we are number 1. We are doing better than Tinder. This is the only country where we are doing better than Tinder. And for many reasons, because we know very well the Indian market. One of my previous companies, Dailymotion, I had built Dailymotion in India, so I know all the key people there, and that's one of the reasons. And we know the local culture. You know, being global means you have to be immersed in all the countries where you are. We do not have one office outside of Paris. Everything is in Paris, but the teams in Paris are multicultural. We have people from all over the world. That's very important, and they can fly and take hotels and stay in all the countries where we are. It's open bar. But it is very important for me, and I had this experience already with Dailymotion in the past, where we had opened a lot of offices. We closed almost all of them, okay? Having local people, traveling a lot, being in touch with your market is also something which is very important. As you can see, we have around, today it has moved a little bit, but we have around 7 million MAU and a little bit more than 2 million DAU on Happn. We are depending the ranking, but in here you see that we are the main challenger of Tinder in the world. In India, as I told you, you see when we launched the Indian market in 2017, you see how we grow after, and that's because we have a brand ambassador, which is an Indian movie star, a huge one, and you know in India, movie stars are gods, okay, they cannot walk in the street, it's impossible. So we took a huge movie star there, Hrithik Roshan, if there are some Indians here, and thanks to that, you see how we have started our growth in this country. Talents and team. That's also a challenge when you build a company which is incredible. So first you need to get high-level managers, people that are able, in fact, to support your business and to bring your business where you have to go. Of course, day one, you don't have those people. It will come step by step, okay? but the choice of the people that are around you when you build a company is probably also one of the key meaning points that you will have to face. Because you, as CEO or as a founder of a company, you will not build a company. You are almost nothing. The people who are around you will build it. And it is very, you will have to face a lot of challenges. One of the most difficult is when you start the company, you start with a few people, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, then you grow 10, 20, 30, 40. But unfortunately, the people that have built the company with you at the beginning were young people with no experience. They have given all their passion to the company. They have helped us a lot. But when you will have to grow, that are not the people that you must have with you. You must have much more experienced people. So you will have to cut the relation with those people, and that will create in your company big troubles. So you have to know it when you build a company. And this is very difficult to be managed. About marketing and acquisition, that's also, of course, you know, today we all acquire users, okay? And the quality of your acquisition, it's something which is very important. Quality means people that will convert from users to customers. If you sell something, we sell a product, we sell a service, okay? And the cost of this acquisition, the payback period, the retention, all those things, you can also control them when you do the marketing. Today, almost all companies are data-driven companies. So you will need a lot of tools to help you to build your CRM, to build, you know, a contextual CRM that is effective when in real time, all those things. You know, the acquisition is driven every day with the results of the last day. Okay, and we do a huge job, and that's something also you must have technical people, you must have performing people with you to help you to have a great acquisition at the lowest cost, and knowing as soon as possible what are the users you want to acquire with their predictive LTV and so on. So I just wanted to have a few words about that. About the business, we have a freemium model, which means that the app is usable free of charge, and we will only convert some of our users into subscribers. In some cities in the world, we convert till 15% of our users into subscribers. And believe me, for a freemium model, it's a great number. Okay, so our freemium model, you are a user, you become subscriber, and you can also make some in-app purchases. Having a subscription-based model is something which is today great, because you build a recurrent business. And you build not only the revenue for this month, but for the next month, and so and so. So that's also a model, a good model. That's a very important graph. It's not easy, I told you in the beginning, to build a company. For example, look at April 2016. You see, our EBITDA, it's strongly negative. Our marketing is very strong. We are talking here in millions. So which means at that time, we are burning more than $1 million a month, okay? And we are burning a lot of marketings. So we have a great growth. But if we continue like that, we go to the wall. So being an entrepreneur means also that at some points of your development, you have to make radical choices. At that time, we decided to cut the marketing in most of the countries where we are, and the criteria to do so was the payback period. In all the countries where the payback period was longer than 1 year, we cut all the marketing. And then we have built all the tools to make the company still growing, but in a profitable way. Just for your reference today, the last months, our payback period at Happn is lower than 30 days. You can imagine what it means. And that has been done thanks to the strong reaction that we had at certain point, and all the tools that we have built, the team that we have welcoming in the company. So being an entrepreneur means also being able at some point to have crucial reaction and strong reaction in order to build right the problem, the company. So just for your, since January 18 to right now, we have the short conversion rates, means the people that we convert from the last cohort into a subscriber within a period of 30 days. We have multiplied that number by 4. Same with the lifetime value improvement. We have improved it in a very short period of time, since January 17, by 9 in the Western countries. And that's why today Happn is a profitable company. Payback period. You see at the beginning, the old course for 2017, 2018, they were also, it took 7, 8, 9, 10 months to recover the acquisition cost. You see today where we are? In 1 month, we cover the acquisition cost. And that's thanks to all the things that you will put on your app, okay? So it's the end of my presentation. I wanted to cover most of the subject to say how we build a company. I hope it was not too much boring.